Nebraska a winner for the first time since opening night, 27-17 against Rutgers. Sean, outstanding effort by the offensive line. I really think that set the tone and turned the tide of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around this program a long time, and there aren't very many weeks, Andy, where you start two brand new guys in a conference game, and that's what Nebraska faced today with Michael Decker and Brandon Hymas, a sophomore and a true freshman, going out there. And those guys more than held their own. They had a very good first start. And I thought, you knew for Nebraska's offense, it wasn't going to be a statistical pretty day with the issues on the offensive line, the number of receivers that were out, and the struggles we've already seen. So I thought they put together a game plan that worked, considering the cards they were dealt here on Saturday.
Hey, you can take Divino Zigbo off the milk carton. He has been found, and boy, did he come ready to play.
And the run-the-ball guy loved every minute of it here on Saturday. 24 carries, over 100 yards for Divino Zigbo. And, you could tell it was a vindication day for him to get out there. This is a guy, we talked last year at this time. He was the starter coming out of the Oregon game last year when they beat Oregon, and he's kind of disappeared since that foot injury he suffered last season. And I think that was a feel-good story. And he's a fan favorite. Let's call it what it is. I mean, people like a bigger bell cow back like that likes to get yards after contact. And when he gets yards after contact, the stadium really feeds off that.
Yeah, there's nothing like the stadium's reaction when Divino Zigbo runs over a would-be defender. Defensively, great showing by Bob Diaco's defense. They took another major step forward.
Nebraska now, Andy, over the last 10 quarters of football has given up just 17 total points. I think they're under 600 yards in that period as well. So that second half of Oregon continues to be a turning point. It was the fewest amount of yards here today on Saturday allowed by a Mike Riley defense here at Nebraska. And he's been here over 30 games now. So that's a good number that they can really hang their hat on.
All right, two more. Number one, how impressive was Nebraska overcoming adversity with all of the injuries, and add to it, your best defender in Aaron Williams, who was playing, got ejected 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, they were really up against it, and it was a gamble they took with a lot of injured guys out. Maybe some guys could have played, but it could have made things worse for down the road. They decided to rest a lot of these key guys, but you're down Stanley Morgan, you're down Brian Reimers, you're down Aaron Williams, key guys, Tyron Ferguson, Marcus Newby, not DeMornay Pearsonell, but he was the guy that kind of helped bail them out. Sure. He was one of the few receiving targets they had. So the adversity was high. Then you talk about the off-field stuff this week.
Off-field stuff. There hasn't been a week like this in quite some time, if not ever. To see Mike Riley handle this and to come out with a win, he was one of the words being used was he was pretty tuckered out after that game. He didn't admit it, but you could tell.
The Big Red Fishbowl took a bite out of Mike Riley this week, and he was worn down. I mean, he was just a beat-down dog after the game, almost emotional. Pause for some water. You could just tell it had really worn on him this week. You lose your boss, and that pressure is on you that, a lot of it has to do with how your football team has played. And now the next pressure for Riley is you got to keep playing well, otherwise potentially more people could lose their jobs. And I think, I don't care what you say, that is what Mike Riley's looking at right now. That is a lot of pressure. It's pressure that he has not had to go through in a coaching career in a long, long time.
Yeah, Luke Gifford said after the game, that hip, hip, hooray, a little extra meaning.
Juice.
A little juice to it here at Memorial Stadium. Bottom line, Nebraska now 2-2. They head on the road, a Friday night game at Illinois.